Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and sometimes something else. Tangent wise stuff. Today I'm joined by Gustav 13
Yep.
and GamingEmblem.
Hey, what's going on?
So, how was this past week?
Just starting up Yakuza 3. Finally finished off Cross Rays, which was, I think we got up to almost 60 parts. Like, we were on that game for like several months.
I can believe
So
it.
it's pretty nice to be able to get on something else. But now it's gonna be pretty much a marathon to get through like all the other games, and then leading up to Like a Dragon that comes out next month. Speaking of which, we also did Streets of Kamurocho earlier today, so you guys should be seeing those recordings later on.
Yeah, that was fun. Is 3 where it, like, is 3 like the peak? Or, like...
No, 3 was the low point.
Oh, 3 was the low point. That's what it was.
A lot of people consider it to be like the black sheep of the series because it's one a new director took to control. So it's kind of dark. It still has some of the same tone, but it's not as over the top as the other two.
Oh, okay.
So it tries to be a little bit more like gritty and stuff, while also having like lighthearted moments because he's also doing stuff in like the orphanage and all that.
So would that be like the Shadow the Hedgehog of the Yakuza series?
Oh, no.
I mean, it's grittier, but it's not edgy. Put it that way.
Gotcha.
Because it's the same usual kind of plots and stuff. But it's essentially he's trying his best to try to live a normal life, and he's constantly getting pulled back in. But like, instead of it just happening in the beginning and him being like, "Oh, I guess I'm just gonna have to embrace it," like he just fights it more throughout the entire thing. But I've enjoyed it so far. The tone is definitely different, but it's pretty nice. The bigger thing is just going back to, because it's a remaster as opposed to a remake, so the old engine and the way that the fighting stuff is very different all over again.
Ellen, what about your week?
Honestly, it was pretty standard and mediocre, all things considered. Just gonna be another normal week of streaming and stuff like that up until war began. But we're currently at my workplace where it has been closed down. One of my coworkers tested positive for COVID-19, so I'm on quarantine time until like the tail end of next week, which I'm hoping they'll feel better. It's a bit concerning because they're like of the age where they're at high risk, so we're trying to do what we can to, I don't know, give her our best at the very least. But thankfully she seems okay. Last I heard, she feels like she has a cold, nothing too serious, which is good. But I actually went out this morning and took all day to get a free COVID test. So it was actually kind of interesting. Took a while to get in there, and I said 15 minutes. I think it was more along the lines of 15 times 24 minutes. But it took a while.
Time.
You're not wrong. But I say we, me and everybody else that lives here went up there to go get the test because we were Chad, that was about 6 hours, okay? But me and everybody else came up here went up to the hospital to get the test done. And I'm sure a lot of people want to do it. And they're probably supplies, demand, all that good jazz. But when we got up there, they asked, like, so you guys are getting the COVID-19 test? After we told them, like, have you actually been exposed to anybody? And I was like, yeah, I have. One of my coworkers tested positive. And she's like, all right, what about everyone else? Like, well, they just lived with me. I was like, okay, we're not going to test you two. We'll test you, though. So we did that. And then my sister was just livid. In her mind, the lady kind of, like, excluded her and Aaron, and were just like, just pick me So she was upset. I was like, oh, so they're probably short supply. It's a free test, whatever. But after waiting for a few hours, they called me in. I talked to a lady that was there. Interesting enough, all of the medical staff that I interacted with in that hospital all had like shortcut hair, and it was like pixie cut, it's like pixie cut kind of stuff, rather than like I don't know what you call it, a bob or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if they just get their hair out of the way for medical work or something like that.
Probably.
Well, with my mom, where she was actually, I think she's going to a new COVID unit now. So that she does travel nursing, and so the thing is they, put their hair either up or somehow like that, because apparently it connects to hair pretty well and sticks around. So
Okay,
if you don't
because
fully
that's why they
cover
were
up,
saying to shave the beards, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
so like if it's not fully covered up and stuff, then pretty much some of it can linger. And then of course, I mean, she still takes a shower when she gets home every day, but it's just like it would, it's even worse at that point. So making sure either short hair or the hair is completely out of the way and covered up, that way it's not as bad. But
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But when the actual sitting thing was pretty fast. They gave me a cotton swab. I rolled it around both my nostrils, gave it back, and like, have a nice day. We'll get your results in 2 to 3 days. You might be able to find out a little bit faster if you sign into this website here. And then I went home, took a nap, woke up about an hour ago, and now it's downtime.
So they let you swab your own snaz? That's interesting.
Yes, they did.
Normally
guess
they
they're
just
kinda
root
limit
around my
contact.
brain hole.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're worried about the conspiracy types. You think that the coronavirus screening process involves implanting you with some kind of brain drone or something to let you do it yourself.
Yeah, I was also gonna say that like mine came. We actually were just able to like schedule it whenever, but I think that's also just because the office will happen to have some tests. But I think it's also because people probably aren't getting tested as often here because we're one of the states that's infection rate kind of like shot through the roof.
it's actually picking up around here. I mean, just mainly in the state too. Like I think our state had the third worst day, they said.
So we actually took a step back in our recovery program for the state as a whole.
Yeah, it's, for me, I had, when I went to the doctor, they gave me a test through just the blood test, and so I was good there for that. So at the time, that was like a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, as for my week though, the most eventful thing is the background. So built the background out of pretty much 50-year plus old materials, like that I found in my grandpa's barn. So I mean, it's
Are the
all.
Gunpla 50 years old?
Oh well, I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of stuff that isn't.
An original Grandpa Gundam. We had to use glue back then.
Let's go.
Sorry, keep going.
No, man. It's made out of completely out of custom made pieces there at the barn, man.
Oh
I
man,
had to find some old plastic. No, but
Some
then
old models.
I see the giant vulture back here from Halo. Like I'm like, oh no, how do I explain that one? But anyway, other than that though, so it folds up, so it completely folds down, so I can put it up, move it wherever. And soonish, whenever I get another chance, I'm pretty much gonna order some insulation foam, and then pretty much on the back side of it, and then that way I can move some other stuff. But essentially, I'm going to make kind of a second setup with this, and then it's going to actually have the not cut off parts here, which on the up there where I've got it, nobody probably sees that there's just a vertical camera here instead of a full camera right now.
Right.
So then we can stretch it out a little bit. There'll be a little bit more on the side, and about right here. I don't know if you guys are seeing my finger though on everybody else's end, but the shelf will come over till about right here instead, or about right here. And then I'm gonna put another one over here, so that way there's more stuff that can fit because it's gonna just be wider out. But I mean, that's mainly the thing that's happened the most. Other than I've just been trying to get all dailies done, so I've either been doing Genshin, and GBO2, and then I did more Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer, which is still fantastic. That is still outstanding. I'm about to get into the end game. I need 5 more levels, and then I can do the actual like weekly in-game kind of thing that is apparently really hard and get you like 110 level gear or whatever. And then let's see what else. Monday, I've been doing Baldur's Gate. That is awesome. I just have to say, Baldur's Gate 3, nice. Like when they finally get that done, it's early access right now, but you can still play multiplayer. We had our first bug this time, so
nice.
It was if you ever load in the save and you pretty much can't have anybody join you because it says your game is 1 out of 1 instead of 1 out of 4 players, you have to resave in game and then load that save because the save corrupted.
Oof.
So there's that bug. But luckily that's the worst thing we've run into, other than like some of the funny animations. But those are just, I mean, they'll do those last,
just goofy game stuff.
Oh yeah, like the mind flare is just like tentacles just like flopping around everywhere during a cutscene. Like your dude stabs.
I feel like that's just stuff that happens, right? Like those anime games, where, like the girls have like the hair that like talking to an NPC on Phantasy Star, and they're like dresses just billowing around or something. Yeah.
I mean, it's
like
pretty
3D
much
model
that,
problems
but
at
like,
that point.
yeah, but I mean, this like the animations in like the once they get it all done will be really good. So, that's probably the last things they're gonna do is touch up on the. I mean, some of the textures just look bad too. So, but
yeah, that'll all probably come in due time.
Yeah, and then other than that, I've just been continuing the usual stuff, tabletop, all that stuff. So, yeah, the usual. But anyway, we think about the Dijeh SE-R, and does anybody know what the SER stands for? Because I'm like, what?
Someone was
kind of
saying
up in
it
the air.
yesterday.
Yeah, because like I know on the wiki itself, they mentioned that it's supposed to be the SE system, which apparently is something from Tyrant Sword of Neophalia.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, don't worry. It's Gundam related. Apparently has something to do with Sirocco.
Oh, well, that's
Does that mean does that mean that specifically, because they were talking about this earlier, that like the reason they might have put that Camille suit in is because of something going on for SRW? Does that mean this might be like specifically an SRW suit, or is it just from that other subtitle?
No, it's honestly it's from MSV, but the only it seems like the only forms of like other media that it showed up under was a couple of Super Robot Wars games, G Generation series, and then Garen's Greed, from what I can tell. It's what it's saying anyway. But I'm guessing it showed up at some point.
Yeah, Junko, as soon as Junko saw it, was like, hey, that's a Garen's Greed suit, like instantly. So
that's cool.
So apparently it's been in a couple of things. But supposedly there's no real like pilot associated with the suit. I found anything about the yeah, I'm not sure what the SE stands for, but there's a system apparently.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, on the side note though, got
Nemo
this.
sword custom sounds badass.
Got the
Sorry.
screws put in the chair too. No, that sounds like what? Yes, please. Let's go. But
It doesn't
got
look
the-
like an Nemo though.
Oh, really? Well, that's actually well, here, let me finish this thought. But yeah, I also got the
Mhm.
screws put in the chair finally. So they and the company compensated me too. So
Ooh.
yeah. So I'll take that. But it's a gaming chair.
There you go.
Gamer chair.
I got the coolest
Really,
mom,
the
just
sword.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but speaking of doesn't look like a Nemo, honestly, I did not know what this was till I read the name. Like I did not recognize Dijeh there. And then I'm like I read the name and I'm like, it kinda looks like a Dijeh. Like it evolved from one or something. But I will say the
It's
picture
got some Domel flavor.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everybody was saying. So I was just like, yeah, it kinda looks like it. The whole picture though just looks badass. I'm just saying, like that helmet or the head. Yes, please. So
When I pull up a picture of Domo, this isn't the one I was thinking of. I might be mixing up the suits. There was one we were talking about. Maybe it's one of the ones from Hathaway or Hathaway stuff. But I was thinking of something else. I don't know. I'll test Mecha about some of the suits he was talking about because the
Mhm.
Domo has spiked shoulders. But there's another one that we were saying might be like a space only support or general or something.
Mm-hmm.
That fits more to Bill, especially with the shoulders themselves having like little like long plate type things. But I don't know. I digress.
So as far as the weapons, I actually thought from what I was hearing, but I guess it just has like the same weapons that the Yakushiki can use. Where I thought it had the shrapnel bazooka as a sub weapon as well as the GM2 beam rifle. That's one thing I got wrong after I ended and was like doing the update video. So oops. Do we know like if the
Post-edit.
GM2 beam rifle is any different from the normal GM2 beam rifle?
I haven't seen the stats for it myself, but I can take a look at it real fast. Is that Gen 2? GM. No, there it is. Set Vulcans. Okay. I'm sure it's a bit weaker. Usually the sub weapons are. Although, maybe it won't be. No, it's stronger. Never mind. Yeah, so the level 1 version is 1700 and level 2 version is 1785. He rates 85, which is less than the GM2 beam rifle default. But yeah, it's weaker than the level 3 GM2 beam rifle, but this one is better in every possible way, except for overheat return time. It's 2 seconds longer, but this is better than a GM2 beam rifle. Yeah, less heat, more range. Same rate of fire, or same fire like interval between shots.
I think
same
it's
switching
funny.
time.
I think it's funny now after the weapons rack from the Easy 8 weapons rack got all of its buffs, like all of its secondary weapons are like either near to or better than the originals weapons. Like I'm like, wait a minute. So can we just have the 100mm that shoots this fast all the time, please? Or a Zaku machine gun that actually shoots like a machine gun rather than a quickly fired semi-automatic? Just saying. Next buff rotation, please. Oh, Gustav?
Got some dude base sitting right now.
Oh no.
Fun.
But yeah. They need to do what they did with the beam rifle to the Zaku machine gun. All I'm saying, then we in there.
But then they'd have to buff the Zuda F machine gun again.
Wait, did they buff the Zuda F machine gun?
I think they did, didn't they?
I think we've brought this up every now and then every time we bring up the Zaku machine gun, but I don't think they did. It still does like 70 damage a shot. It might have, you might have 120 shots, but if it takes you 7 years to do 1,000 damage, have fun. Like the only thing it has is like the horrible stagger ratio.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I definitely think the point is just to poke, but I don't know. It just comes down to like whatever the precedent they're trying to set. If they're going to make sub weapons on other suits better, they need to improve them across the board.
Pretty much.
So chat's saying that they did buff it a little bit.
They did? Okay. I mean, it needed it. I mean, it still sucks, but still needs it. Do round 2 or 3 or 4 if you're gonna just do it by the same you did the first time. But yeah, so does it have the same shrapnel bazooka as the ones that the Hyakushiki uses?
Well, it can use a clay bazooka, so according to this, it just uses both. But
okay, so it is the Shiki weapons then, because
yeah.
I know like the other shrapnel bazooka is like the Mark II shrapnel, which is a different one from the Hyakushiki because it's the clay shrapnel.
Okay. This is the one that the Hyakushiki, the Rick Diaz typo, and the New Zealand DS use.
Oh, dude, I still need to get the New Zealand one. If I can get that, it'll be great.
Do you want me to go ahead and go over the stats and stuff on it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the defenses and stuff because I know there's a shopping list of skills, 2 shopping lists of skills, rather. Sorry.
So the Dijeh has 2 levels, 600 and 650. HP is 17,000 and 18,000 for level 1 and 2 respectively. And numbers will be going from level 1 and 2 respectively as we go down for future reference. The ballistic defense is 25 and then 27. Same for beam, 25 and 27. Melee resist is 16 and 18. The range damage modifier is 35 and 38. Melee modifier is 25 and 27. These stats are the same for both suits, but speed is 130. Boosting movement is 220. Default thrust is 85, which is pretty substantial. Turning speed is 72 on the ground, 78 in space. I think it has I'm not sure the priority. I think it's level 2 priority.
Yeah.
Okay. Basic counter, 22 seconds, 21 to 22 seconds to respawn. Part slots, again, level 1 to level 2. The top slots are 10 and then 11. Medium is 19, then 21. And long range is 15 and then 16. And I could keep going, but I don't know if you wanted to talk about the defensive stuff before I start going into modifiers for damage.
So when I was playing, me and Gustav played a few games last night, and I was playing the MLRS because I just had a game where I tried the Tristan at 600.
Oh yeah.
First time.
Oof.
Oh man, dude. I like, I thought people were memeing a little bit when you were like, oh.
Exactly those sounds too.
Okay. Okay, I done a downswing. Hang on, give me a minute to rest. I'll hit you with something else. But like for real though, the whole like, oh, that was even the neutral was like, I'm downswinging like I'm the double Zeta or something. I'm like, what in the world is this? No wonder I counter the neutral on it like all the time. I was just like, I'm just like, maybe I'm just new typing really hard right now. Every time I counter one of those, I'm like, no man, no, this thing's just meant to follow up and chunk, and you got to just use everything else so that you get that follow up melee. But you're just going in for one because it doesn't. I don't know. Like I guess you could neutral and then downswing, but it just feels like somebody could dodge roll after a neutral with how slow that is.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it
I've
yet.
seen it happen.
Oh my gosh, there it is. Okay, well, anyway, so there we go. Mini rant about the Tristan out of the way. It needs a lot of help, but I will say the damage claps, so it can. If you hit with everything, also I don't like its beam rifle, but if everything just hits well, then yeah, it does damage. That's for sure. Um, but yeah, so the main thing. Second game though, I'm like, okay, 600 MLRS time. Let's go. Time to redemption game. Let's go. And besides having like one of the best Zeta Plus players I think I've seen, because he was like shooting me with the 4 shots, by the way, and I've been trying to do this combo. So you're going in, you shoot him with the 4 shots. You don't even have to bump, and then you transform out, and as you're falling, you swap to the main gun and shoot their legs, or shoot whatever suit. So if it's Cubulate, you just shoot them. But if it's a support like an MLRS, you got to shoot the foot. So he was like transforming after staggering me. He would transform, shoot me in the foot for another stagger, land and melee me 3 times. And I was just like, and he would do it just every time. And I was just like, who is this guy? What in the world? So yeah, that is that dude's suit. But anyway,
How was he staggering you though? I didn't think the Zeta Plus had enough stagger build up on its secondary to even
no,
get
it's
it
the
up to 100.
secondary. It's the secondary while transformed. 4 shots will stagger.
Oh, yeah, I
Mm.
thought I thought that wasn't enough either.
No, yeah, that's enough. The secondary normal on the
Okay.
ground has like no stagger. It has like
Right.
maybe 30 by the time you hit with all 3 shots. If I
Mhm.
recall, it's like 10% per shot with it being on the
But
ground.
the flight mode does.
Yeah, the
They do let
flying.
you get it.
I think it's literally 25% each, or like 30% each, something like that. But yeah, that's enough. I do that all the time. I go in. I normally shoot, then bump, then transform,
Mhm.
dash back, then get my bearings, shoot again, because no way am I aiming in the air like that. But yeah, like he
Mhm.
was just shooting, then aiming in the air and shooting my leg right as he lands, like right before he lands, so that as soon as he lands, he weapon swaps immediately, and there's no hiccups, swapping to the beam saber. And then so it's literally just like he was on the ground, swapped to beam saber, and then just meleeed me. And yeah, like
Mhm.
to time it and hit the suit in the right spot every time like that. Well done. But anyway, back to the main point. Dijeh, I saw it, I shot it, I dealt less damage to it than I did the Zeta Plus. So I'm guessing they just have ballistic resist on it because it was 600, and they were guessing all they're going to see is MLRS. Probably a good guess that you're going to run
Good
into.
call.
Good call. But the thing is, yeah, it's pretty defensive though. Like I was almost doing nothing to it, and I mean, if I knew that it didn't have a dodge roll at the time, which I guess I already did, but if I, actually used my brain and decided to, go in and exploit that, then I probably could have bullied it super hard. But overall, though, it's tanky, and it can be tanky against an MLRS for sure. Um, I don't know if you would want to prioritize beam resist at 650 though, but at 600, I think it might have a spot, just due to its tankiness.
Mhm.
So that's
Well, it
pretty
seems like
much.
you could kit it for the cost, right? If like it's 650, you would definitely want to do beam so that you can tow up with all the Cubulays.
Yeah, exactly. But could you repeat? Which I'm trying to find the picture here because I saw some people posting it. But yeah, what's the medium slots and the doesn't it have a ton of medium slots? I mean, is that?
Yeah, it's the most 19 and 21
Yeah.
for level 1 and 2 respectively.
And you can get some good range damage on that too. Although, I mean, I'm thinking, of course, shrapnel bazooka, and then saving my GM2 beam rifle as my insta stagger. So if I want to do melee combo, I just use that, and if I want to follow up, I just stack a lot of range damage and go straight in with the shrapnel bazooka. That's what I'm thinking of trying it at least. But
Are you talking about the spread shot one or the normal shrapnel bazooka?
the well, it doesn't have the spread shot. It has the normal one from the
It says
Rick
it
Diaz.
has both, I thought. Yeah, it has both. It's just a primary instead of a secondary.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The
It's
primary,
the-
though, is the clay shrapnel, and it's not the one that the normal Dijeh has.
Right. I'm not saying that. I was just trying to figure out which version of the clay bazooka you were talking about using.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are you?
Yeah,
So,
I'm not.
Were you talking about the spread shot one that like the Mark II uses too?
Yeah. The Mark
Or
II
are you
one.
talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other one's just a clay bazooka. The other one's a clay shrapnel, right?
Well, I think they're both clay bazookas, but one's like spread and the other one's something else.
But yeah, that's what I mean when I say shrapnel, though, is the spread
I gotcha.
thing. That,
Okay.
Yeah, instead of just being a normal bazooka shot. But yeah, so and that way with the range damage, like the Barzam is great using that. Now I know the normal Barzam beam rifle. I'm starting to like that a little bit better. I know Gustav claps with that, but the shrapnel stuff is pretty good, and so it's kind of nice to see a higher cost one with that, and also be a bit more tanky because the Mark II isn't the most tankiest to run around and do that. So I'll definitely keep that range. Well, that's another question. Do you think it's smaller than the normal Dijeh?
I have no idea. I haven't seen it in a fight, so
It
it's hard to
looks
say.
like it has a smaller profile.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It has so many buffers, and we'll get to the skills here in a sec, but it has so many buffers on it. Yet, I feel like it's smaller than most suits that need the buffers, but I mean, compared to, say, like a Mark II, of course, it, you know. But
Yeah, at least the Mark II has a shield. I mean, that's something to consider too.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's a good call. And
Just going off of the stats of the suits, the new Dijeh is a tad bit taller, like 0.2 meters than the normal Dijeh, if you're going off of head height.
Okay, I was going to say, what about the fin? But yeah.
Yeah, the bigger thing is that it doesn't have the fins.
Yeah. Which, I don't know how tall... This one isn't very complete. It doesn't say how tall it is with the little, like, fins it has going above its own head. But the Dijeh has a total height of 23 with the fins, but I'm not sure about the other suit. So it probably is a bit more compact in that regard, maybe.
Yeah, mostly because, like, from a side profile, it has fins, but unlike the other one, it's not filled in on the in-between. They're not like big dumb wings or whatever.
Maybe that's
I don't
why.
know. This one seems like it should be bigger. Because this definitely got more going on. Like, the legs are thicker.
Wider that way.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But it's definitely got less, like, if you then rotate it to the side, it's definitely got less fin length, like Gustav said, and it's definitely got less height. So. And then this also has the shoulder buffer, though. So even though it is wider, you're probably hitting the shoulders more than you're hitting, like, an arm. And even the legs are buffered, though. So, like, everything you're hitting is almost reduced by 10 to 15%. I don't know. That's kind of the big thing I've found with it is, like, I mean, kind of looking at it, if you're going to play more range, then probably have more range defense. But if you're going to play in there and melee, you might want to up that melee resist a little bit. And I don't think it has enough. Yeah, it doesn't have enough close. Maybe at 650, you could have enough close for a lot of, like, the melee 4, I think. But at level 1, it doesn't look like it would. 10, I'm pretty sure it takes 12, right? So. Just not sure how I'd build this thing is kind of but you can definitely choose whether ballistic or beam resist for sure. It's always nice.
was kind of interesting too. Like, I kind of wonder if it's another one of those cases, kind of like the Hyakushiki, where the stats are more favored towards range, because it does have space specialization. But maybe unlike the Shiki, where they released it poorly with a bad downswing modifier, in this case it should be like a bit better, because it looks like they gave it a good modifier. It's like, just to touch on it, I know the range stats are better. This thing has a better modifier than the Hyakushiki actually, but
It's because
just
it's
to kind of
general.
touch into that. Yeah, it's probably that and it's higher cost, I'm sure. But the melee modifiers for damage, it's 100% on neutral, so normal damage. Side swings do 80% damage, so that's 5% higher than other suits. But the downswing modifier is the same as the GPO1, actually. It's 100% on each swing. So if when you hit with both, you're doing 200% of your melee damage
Maybe that's why.
to a suit.
Because of the GPO1 buff recently. I wonder if that's why.
Yeah, I wonder. It seems like they're not afraid to push the envelope most of the time with generals either. Although they did hold back a little bit in the other cases.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into the skills for this thing, because I think that's where either this thing could have been the new meta, like general period at 600 and 650, or I mean it's probably going to be somebody's main suit that they might use,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to literally one skill missing is that difference. And I've kind of already.
I think if they gave it a dodge roll, it would have been
yeah, exactly.
easily.
Well, because then it's an FB on the ground.
Oh, for sure.
But we want to go ahead and just hop into the skills, and then we'll talk about it and give our kind of like final thoughts on the suit.
Here we go. Just making sure there's no differences between the two levels, which there's not.
That is a shopping list, dude.
Has level 3 leg shock absorber, which reduces the leg load when you're landing.
Oh yeah,
and
man.
Recovery speed goes up. Woo! High performance balancer, force injection level 2. It has aerial control program level 3. So let you make additional jumps when you're in the air. Very similar to like the GPO2 and the gun cannon 2. You can also dash in the air, and when you're in the air, your thruster consumption is reduced by 50% when you're boosting.
Isn't that the new thing that they gave at 3? Because the other suit that also has this new level 3 was the Tristan, and was that just it? It just lowered the cost by a flat 50%, or didn't it have like some stealth like extra reduced cost to something? I can remember if that was a thing.
I'm not 100% sure.
Or yeah, wait.
Look at it a little more.
I think when you first jump, because it says minus 50% while in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it also reduces your jumping boost by 50% while for your initial off the ground. I think that's what their note was.
I thought there was a separate skill that does that though, for like charge time and boost consumption, right?
Well, that's quick boost.
Right. So
I think this also has.
I don't think this affects it, does it?
I can't remember. I'd have to go back to the. I can go look real quick while you're going through the rest of them. I'll go look at the.
Yeah, the only other suit that had it was the Tristan.
Yeah, I'll just go look at the Tristan update.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Aerial, from the description I have on the suit, it doesn't say anything about that. But I mean, if you see something, let me know.
Yeah, it was during the update, so I'll just find it.
And Knife Seeker 5 has it too.
Or maybe was it the V?
All right, let's see. It has high spec or high performance handback, overboost level 2. So, actually, in that regard, I'm gonna look at overboost 1.
Oh, it was the V. Here we go. Thruster's consumption will be reduced by 50% when high-speed movement in the air. However, the actual effect makes the thruster consumption be reduced by 50% when jumping. in addition to moving at high speed in the air. Yeah, so it's the initial one as well.
Okay, so it does both. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
Yeah, Magnum found it.
how many times are you gonna use that one?
I rarely jump, although I don't know. It's definitely something to consider, especially if you can fly around. So level 2 overboost is on this thing, and from what I can tell, just looking at the descriptions between the skills, both effects are exactly the same, except that level 2, your mobility increases while it's active.
Okay.
So I guess it means you move faster.
I was wondering if there was like less overheat or something like that, but yeah, I guess it's probably a speed up during it.
It has melee combo controller level 1, so you can do two attacks. It has maneuver armor level 1, so you don't get any damage reduction during the maneuver armor of this thing. It has anti-blast stabilizer, level 2 leg cushioning, so it takes 15% less damage to the legs. It also has level 1 shoulder cushion, level 2 backbinder. So that's both 15s are 15%, or both level 2s are 15% less damage to those parts, and the shoulders take 10% less damage. Also has damage control level 2. So that's its stagger accumulation value becomes 160%.
Oh yeah, that's right. And now that it either seems to be working better or it actually now works or something. I do have a theory though, because I always recognized when it would work though. I think what happened, it might be the case of like, you know how it's supposed to be 160%. I wonder if what happened is like it was like 110% for level 1 and like 120 and they just weren't applying at their actual value. Because it does seem a little harder now that you kind of mention it on a couple of suits, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that was, like maneuver armor, but yeah, that's right. That doesn't actually do anything. It just stops the, like the bazooka. So a couple of suits where I would actually stagger pretty quick, I've been noticing that it's taking a little extra effort to actually stagger, and I think it happened. My theory is it happened somewhere around when they buffed the high gog. But I'm starting to
like I feel like they shadow patched damage control. Like I was saying, either it wasn't working or the values were so low that it wasn't relevant. But they had to have changed it. I feel it. I feel like this is the case.
Yeah. Actually, wait. Did we have the value before? Was that a thing?
That's a good question.
I think you mentioned like, oh wait, hey look, we can see that it's 30%. I want to remember that's what the reaction was. I could be misremembering that, but when you were looking on the website,
I'll look at the pages for it. It really just comes down. Okay, so it was worse. It doesn't like it tells me though, but there's some commentary. Apparently on October 31st, last year, they increased the value. So for level 1, what the fuck has damage control level 3? Level 1 is plus 30%.
Gog.
Level 2 is plus 60%. And level 3 is plus 100%. So the stagger buildup is 200.
Yeah, the Gog and the Zommel and maybe the Zoc have those, which are insanely
what
gross.
the hell? No way. Yeah, it looks like this the Gog and the Bolanoke Summon.
Oh wait, the Bolanoke. Oh yeah, that's right. The Bolanoke did get that. So it's just those two. Does the
according
Gog,
to
does
the
Zoc
wiki
and the Zommel not have?
the Zoc and the Zommel don't have it according to this.
Maybe it's 2. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, the So I mean that was still quite a while ago, but I guess that was recent-ish enough that because that was the guard custom was out way before that date, so that was one of the ones you were mentioning. Interesting.
Yeah, so that is pretty interesting. It kind of makes me wonder though, because like I remember seeing some comments about I think it might have been Lotus that mentioned like the Dijeh counters the SRE because it has a shotgun. But I kind of wonder because I mean, like maybe it's easier to hit the bulk mass with the GOG. But I mean, I feel like if you're shotgunning this thing, the extra percentage, like the GOG has 200% in that case.
Yeah.
And this thing only has 160, but the shotgun still shuts down the GOG. So I kind of wonder how that's going to play out. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come down to kind of like center mass or scrape or like side shots or something like that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Like 01s and like the Mark II, I've missed the stagger on. So can be done.
This thing is juicy though, so you should be able to hit a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Trying to think, what else do we have that builds up stagger that quick?
Everything on the Tristan.
That is true.
It's true.
Although when I finally got to fire at one, it was like, I'm gonna swing at you now. Oh, I got tackled.
Just don't swing.
Oh man, it was like I think I was just tilted.
Pulse is there, but you're just, it's not worth it unless they're already on the floor. Just don't do it.
I think after one bad thing happened with that suit, like I already went in expecting it to be bad, but you know I was like maybe I can make it work, and maybe it's not that bad. If I probably didn't have that thought,
like, oh, it's bad. There it is.
Yep. I just remember, I remember freaking out to you, like, just, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It is this bad. Ah. But anyway, the so the overboost though. I mean, it being on a general instead of a raid with like the Akzaku commander, like that's definitely going to make a difference. This thing's a lot tankier as well. So I'm curious to see what people can, do with that. I know like on the Rick Diaz, having double tackle is pretty cool. But being able to use like your Force Injector 2 kind of thing, well, I mean just having Force Injector in general, and then being able to like tackle straight into somebody after your boost is over with, that's going to be cool to see if people can really use that. But I don't know. I'm kind of, it doesn't feel like it's good enough in melee that, I mean, you really would just have to rely on that maneuver armor to just wreck people at that point. But it not having a dodge roll, I think, is a good thing, but I would be curious to see what happens if they added a dodge roll just for a month. Like, if this seems to be like, it needs a buff. Because, I mean, sadly so far, it hasn't been outstanding damage-wise, and it hasn't been like, I'm just complete trashing it. So, welcome to the bizarro balanced world. If this wasn't that, it would have a dodge roll and be the most broken suit ever at 600 and 650.
But as it stands right now, it's just kind of eh.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm just thinking, if I had an FB that was on the ground, like, could you imagine, guys? Like, not having to do the space dance that everybody does? Like, just run at them and dodge roll 50 times and then just shoot them with a laser beam dodge roll around them and
straight up just Dark Souls.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're just playing dodge roll game on the ground, dude. Like, let's go. So I am glad that they didn't really put it on there, but I kind of want to see it with it just for a month. Like next month they add it, like November's patch notes. They're like, yeah, man, we're going hard just to try it out. And if they, just try it out.
If it gets late enough, that would be one of the easier things for them to change.
What?
So I got live footage of the Dijeh SE-R using its force injectors with overboost active. This is what your fights against are gonna look like.
Oh no!
It's got those sweepy legs.
Does the Akzaku commander has force injector, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Commander also
I
tends
think
to
so.
like cramp its legs all the time when it goes in overboost because it's like losing its limbs all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It would be nice to see something that is tanky that can use overboost, because right now this is the third suit that has it. So I know we've said in the past that it'd be nice to see one, but or see more.
Yeah, it does have level 1 force injector.
But yeah, I guess any other extra thoughts or final thoughts on the suit?
I think it looks interesting. I think if they gave it I think if it had that dodge roll, it would definitely be a meta crusher. Like I think it would definitely be the threat that that you need, that 650 needed. Because it seems like it's got things that the Tristan doesn't in regards to like its actual animations and whatnot. Like I don't know, I still haven't seen the full damage. I've heard that the downswing chunks really hard.
Let's say
I need to
medium
look at
kick
more.
downswing, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, which is pretty neat. So it'll be interesting. Like the HP itself, I don't know. I need to look at other suits to compare, but the HP seems kind of low, which is probably why the legs suffer. Because if like the biggest complaint is that the legs just kind of get shredded.
Yeah, I'd say
so you have all this boosting, but you're just like tripping all over yourself halfway through a life.
Yeah.
I think 650 is definitely needs more health. Like I don't know why. Like I think because it's a raid, they were like better buff the Zeta 650 cost, the Zeta or Zeta Plus. Because it has like it goes from like 17,000 or 18,000 to like 21,000 just straight. I don't know, I can't remember the full difference, but it's like 2,000 or 3,000 difference just from level 1 to
But it
level
has
2.
more HP than the Tristan though, so I don't know.
Yeah, well the Tristan's just I had learned that it's paper thin too. It has like no resistances either. So but I guess because the Tristan, has a shield and is thinner technically, so maybe that's why. This has buffers and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know.
So it's kind of interesting. Like I don't think it's bad. I think if you live in a world where you can use maneuver armor on the spot, then the suit's not bad at all. I think whenever you are able to boost and not get staggered afterwards, you're going to be in a really strong position because you have high damage, you have high stagger build up resist, and it seems like the suit can just explode out. I don't know. It just like snaps into action, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just in your face. So we'll kind of see how it goes. It doesn't look bad to me though. I just don't know if I would personally be able to use it to its full effect because you would see the stun coming, start boosting, and then just get staggered out. Because that's just how lag likes to dunk on you. But when it's the other side, the opponent does the same thing and our maneuver armor works, It's just stuff like that.
Feels bad, man.
How
does that feel? But yeah, Gustav, your final thoughts on it?
I think it could have been the one thing that could have been a meta shifter, and it's kind of a shame that they weren't willing to commit to making it be that. Hopefully we have something in the future that can do that for us. Because right now it's still an issue. And I can't really see it unless like it's just that the drop rate hasn't been very high. I can't see it really having too much of a spot very consistently in like compositions and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's just 3 people that play it, or if it actually does kind of find a spot. Because I mean, I think at 650 though, where it's just damage control 2, I mean that's the same thing as just a Cubulate. Or do they have 1?
It's level 2.
Okay, yeah, so It's going to be the same kind of stagger build up from just accumulate to accumulate kind of thing. Only in this case, you know, if you're trying to build beam resist, I guess there's that. And I mean, I guess you have a direct stagger. You have 2 direct staggers, so you could approach kind of. There's that too. I don't
How
know
do you
if that-
guys feel if they had the 2 tackle skill on it? Do you think that would change your mind at all?
I think that would be cool. I mean, I know it's got a ton of skills already, but yeah, throw that in. I think that would be great.
Do you think it would make it more viable though? Or because I mean, obviously, yeah, the more skills you throw at it, the better it gets. But do you think that would change how strong it is, or make it more viable in your opinion, or make it more of a team inclusion in the future? Or you don't think it would make that big of a difference?
Yeah, because I mean, other suits that have it also can roll. So
I mean, that is true, but I don't see too
I
many.
don't think there's like one suit that has it that individually only has that skill. It's usually both.
I don't normally see too many Rick Diaz players still use it, but you know, I catch a lot of people off guard when I have a double dodge roll, or even if I play the Rick Diaz. I normally get that. I normally usually get the tackles off more than not, just because I guess where I play support and I'm always looking for that tackle. But the yeah, so I don't know. I think it would be nice to have. I don't know if that's going to be the thing that bumps it up. I don't know if that's going to be the thing, but it could use it. I don't think it would hurt. I still think it should just have the level 1 dodge roll. They should put it in, be like, yeah, we brought this in. We're gonna try it. You know, as long as they present it in a way to where they're like, if it's too strong, we're gonna nerf it literally in a month. So we're gonna throw it in here and then nerf it at Christmas. As long as they present it like that, I think we're fine. I think that's fine to do. But if they just kind of give it to it and everybody's just like, oh my gosh, this thing's the most overpowered thing ever now, you know, right? Like,
Well, I could see this happening. So just picture in your minds this 2-star suit. It's the Dijeh WDF, WD-F. It was piloted by we don't give a fuck, and it's gonna have all the same skills, be a 2-star, and have a dodge roll just because.
I was
just
like,
because of BB.
Where's he going with it? Where's he going with this? Oh my gosh!
It's his initials, and that'll be the version of the DJ you want, Magnum.
You know, if I really wanted to take the time to edit, that would be the start little blurb thing in front of the little. Here's a spooler up, it's coming. You know, during the episode, you know, kind of thing. That would be it. Well played. You got me.
Very uncompromising, man.
Like I was just like, what? Who is that? And then you started going into it. It was piloted by. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's actually a suit. This is actually a thing. Someone had to link this in chat, and then you said the name, and I was just like,
yep, wah wah.
Like Mike from Monsters Inc. face at you. Just, I was not amused.
Debated.
So, but I will say, someone in chat said, when I said that yesterday, someone in chat, I don't remember who, said that it doesn't change anything because it's already a Cubulate meta. So,
yeah,
like right now, literally pretty much the best comp is nothing but Cubulates. And when you see the Mark IIs like do so well, it's just like
Mark II kind of does everything it does a little bit better.
Sort of. I mean,
instead of using the sub weapon, it just splooges on people.
Well, and then
like the time that you would take to do the like range stuff, it can already close in and do that several times over with the melee. Just kind of fucked.
Yeah, that 3-pronged beam saber is gross, but at the same time, the follow funnels, just staggering 2 shots, or even on 2 shots on pretty much every suit is kind of insane. So it is terrifying. And then
the latency of how they follow you sometimes fucks it over, but yeah, it's really nice when they're on target.
Yeah, that can be a thing.
But I was talking about like the Mark II just being at like when you talk about the 600 cost version for the Dijeh, just kind of outperforms it in certain aspects too.
So yeah, so if it did have the dodge roll and it just kind of replaced the Cubile, then I guess there would be that. It'd just be just a shift in the suit that everybody plays. So fair
Yeah.
enough, I guess. But
That would be my main concern. It's just like we would still have the same problem. It'd just be once another suit instead of the Cubile.
People are a little bit quieter about the Mark II nowadays just because the Cubile is the bigger problem, but like, still a problem.
I mean, literally,
they're both a problem, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like, it never changed. that never went away.
But like the yeah, I went ahead and asked a friend of mine. I was like, so what's the like because of the 650 change? I went ahead and asked. I was like, so what's the Japanese take on it? Because I'm guessing everybody's in an uproar over this. Like, what's going on the Twitter with all the comments that I can't read. And they pretty much messaged me back. Yeah, it's everybody's just fed up with just nothing but Cubile meta at literally every rating level too. So it just seems like a unanimous thing. Like, can we not have 650s anymore, please? And
yeah, that's why they changed the matchmaking for sure.
Yeah, so there is
600 a week after.
And that's the funny part. It's just like, oh, we barely. I mean, I guess it's not Cubile cost, fair enough. But
you just get to have Mark II flashbacks for a couple rounds.
I mean, it's still high enough cost though that like it's still the same problem. Like new players are just gonna get wrecked still. Like I think that's the other complaint too, from my understanding, is that it's just like anybody who's not playing a ton and is high enough,
or at least whaling enough to get like consistent high cost suits.
There's that too, yeah. So it's just like you're not high enough rank, and I mean, again, it kind of just baffles me a little bit too that the kind of expected it to be a little higher than this, but going back to the 9% thing, like at the time when they showed the captain thing, people waiting to go up to major, there was only 9% of the player base. So top 9% there was the only people waiting to go get these new 400 cost suits, and I didn't even have the DP for all of those. Luckily, I got the 450 detector and didn't have to spend another 400,000. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like I hope they start making some changes, and I hope Christmas is a big event, because little side tangent here, but what do you guys think of Halloween? Like, do you think they could have done more?
I mean, they can, but they should always be doing more. That's always been an issue with these guys in general anyway. The bigger thing and the way it feels a little bit less now is just because they're not getting 2 levels of the suit. But initially, I mean, essentially, we're still having the same issue. It feels like they got rid of the other level. First of all, I don't know if they could have balanced it at higher costs. But also, I think they're trying to get in those repair packs or whatever, too, since they have a new currency to slap in there.
The thing that kills me, though, is, again, back to the whole DP thing and, not having enough. I could upgrade, if it was just that, I could upgrade like 5 of my 3-star suits. But that's also 360,000 DP or more. I can't remember if it's more actually, but yeah.
Yeah, it like really feels like they just missed a step in making that new currency. Like they started leaning it because people were complaining that they weren't going to have enough of it, but now we have too much of it, and now we're not getting the other DP stuff. But it almost feels like they missed a step where like there should be another way to acquire DP.
Well, that's what kind of
scares me. They've increased the rewards.
Yeah, that's what I want. Is that just?
I mean, we mentioned that before when we were talking about DP being worthless. Like they give you a piddly amount, and then like at the time you had way too much.
Mhm.
And now like that's been flipped on its head, but the piddly amount hasn't changed, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing too is like, they're like trying to stop these farm games or even these. Now we've got team A wins, team B loses
B.
things, right? So, I don't know. Right now I'm getting my boxes pretty much every day just because I hop in there, while I was fixing breakfast this morning, I would just hop in. I'm like, oh, I got to be AFK team. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna
Okay,
lay the
bye.
controller down and let's flip this egg and oh, I must have died. The controller vibrated.
Oh no.
And then I just don't have to worry about it. And then I'm like, okay, cool, the game ended because as long as you're respawning, you won't get kicked. So you got a whole minute and a half while somebody else spawns in, and those take only like 2 minutes and you're done, right? And compared to the botting simple battles, but I've been getting like all of my boxes. I mean, now we've got a bonus, 25%. So
Yeah,
there
I
is
think that's
that.
what it is.
So, and with the platinum medal, I'm sure. Tomorrow? No, tomorrow would be the 31st. There. Anyway, Saturday. Make sure you re-up everything in your hangar. By the way, guys, before reset on Saturday. I think I always get that mixed up because they're a day ahead. But anyway, yeah, it's like just that kind of farming has been pretty nice. I got a lot of tokens extra just because of that. And I know a lot of people are farming DP that way, but still, that's still what, like 80 every two minutes if you're on the losing team, and then if people are popping medals on the winning team, that's barely 1,000 because it's platinum medals at this point, and it's just like oof, that's like a 12 times bonus or whatever. So
Yeah, it just comes down to DP rewards being low. I mean, even to put into perspective from another event, do you know how much the first place clan gets DP wise for winning clan battle?
Was it 10,000?
No, they're not that stingy. It's 20.
Okay, I didn't think it was that much, but I couldn't remember. But yeah,
But that's pretty low too. I mean, for like the top 3, groups of players in the entire game, at least from the clan perspective, I think they should at least add another 0 to that. Like, I personally think they should make it like 1 million for those people.
Yeah.
And it sure it's a weekly thing, or at least 500,000.
It's one of those things
DP
where
for
it's
those
like
rewards.
it's a weekly thing, and also like I don't think that top 100 or at least the top 10s change very often.
yeah, that's.
I mean, you're right. They'd be farming the hell out of it, but
Oh yeah.
it's just kind of like one of those things where, I don't know, outside of prestige, everything else, once you had a mobile suit, you're literally just farming for the
More mobile
clan
suits.
and clan emblem decorations.
Yeah. Oh
And
boy.
you sure aren't there for the DP. Like it's
You're
literally
there
just a
for the
prestige
tickets
thing.
at that point. Get that
Yeah.
RT.
Did they even give you RT?
I would assume, because technically they'd have to give it to you, the suit to you again, in case you have other people planned for the next time.
I guess that's a thing. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, that's true. They could just give it back to everybody. Yeah.
Oh,
that seems about right.
That's what I was gonna say. By the way, I got scared yesterday because I noticed something. I don't know if it was yesterday specifically, but the last time I ranted on stream, probably yesterday, about the enhancement stuff and the modification stuff specifically. If you go into the modification store part of the hangar and you look at the top, guess what currency is also up there?
DP.
Yeah.
Recycle tickets.
Oh.
That scares me. Anybody, if someone from BB or Bamco or anything is watching right now, please do not make tickets needed for modification stuff. Please.
It'll just be another way for you to get it faster, though.
I am begging you, please. Don't do it. Like,
they might probably do it though.
I'm Like, well, I mean, at this point, why would they put it there if they're not planning on using it? You know, like Chekhov's currency at this point, dude. Like, ugh.
Hey man, it's just like how they changed the cosmetic ticket tab to other.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start buying recycle tickets.
I mean, if that's the case, then fuck it. I don't mind that.
Eh.
They need to monetize it more if they're actually going to try to stick with the way that they're doing this stuff. There needs to be other ways for this stuff to be available.
Cosmetics.
I want
though.
that tab. Yeah, thank you, Magnum. I was like, I want that tab to be cosmetics.
Like,
Like,
if they're gonna monetize more, it's just cosmetics. Don't pay to win any more than they already are, for goodness sake. Like we're approaching levels of like, I'm out. Peace.
Well, it's like we were saying before, like, you know, first thing is first. They actually had to update the cosmetic shit that they already have. I don't think that beauty salon's been touched since it was implemented.
Nope. Where's my Haman hair at?
Mm-hmm. There's so many different dumbass hairstyles they could be fucking around with in there. Hell, even just expand the colors a little bit more.
They added like one hairdo, Gustav, please.
It was so hard, I'm sure. Not to mention, have we gotten any new patterns in a minute?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Well, actually, that brings me back to the tangent point. Halloween. What?
Oh yeah.
Do we think they could have done more? I think they could have done more. I mean, overall.
Well, everything that we just talked about is like, yes, they always can be doing more, and they probably should be.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the anniversary event, like, just took it to 12th gear, and this just feels like we were like, yeah, that'd be cool if they do bring back the enhancement times 2 thing. And I mean, like, maybe that's what I really want. Maybe that's what it is to me. Like, if they had enhancement times 2 every event, I'd be like, yes, this is good.
I don't know though, but in that regard though, like, wasn't our overall thoughts on the anniversary that it was underwhelming? Because I mean, I personally think it may be like a lot of it is 650, but I recall saying that I think the anniversary could have been handled better.
Oh well, yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I mean, the big part was the.
So I mean, in that regard,
for us, the bigger thing to remember is that it's all relative to what we've already experienced too. So, like,
true
compared to the anniversary, what we've gotten after the fact has been very underwhelming. You know, whether the anniversary was underwhelming as it is just compounding that. But the issue still stands.
And I think for me, like, I personally just kind of look at it for last year. I think and even that, just kind of like the different things. So like the scavenger hunt was cool. I like that they changed the
very
locations.
Liked it.
Yeah, like that was fun. Me and chat went on a scavenger hunt. We found the stuff that was cool.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun doing that.
So like that part was fine. I was a little bit sad about the rewards. For I guess for a new player, it doesn't really matter, but for someone who's been playing the game for a while, except for the new stuff, everything else is recycle tickets. So there's that. Well, I mean, everything else but the boxes, I guess. Yeah.
Personally, I'll take the recycle tickets because of the stupid firing program and melee program cost. But anyway.
Wow. But
and like, I can only use the firing.
I would have liked the rewards. How come the helmet can't be used in combat? How come it's only a base camp thing?
For real though, dude.
But
you can use Haman's normal suit, right?
Yeah, you have like the fancy dress one that she has.
Yeah, and, like that's kind of huge and obnoxious, sort of, for the way they've done it. So,
excuse me, sir, you can't talk about my V girl like that. Haman is not obnoxious.
I mean, the outfit that definitely doesn't look like her amazing outfit.
White Knight mode activate. But
you should bust out the dress though.
Hey man, Haman Sama.
I agree. They do need to put that in.
Banzai.
But I don't know. To me, it felt pretty pretty on par with the holiday events. And like my chat beat me to it before I could say it, but I mean, Halloween has never really been like
That big.
anything more than a reskin of the base camp and a couple little small events. So I mean, outside of the rewards, I think everything else was pretty on par for Halloween at the very least.
Yeah, I've been very confused as to people asking about like if they think that they're gonna have like another Halloween based suit for the banner and all this other shit. It's like it's the event and that's it. It's never not been that. Like, where is this coming from?
That's a little weird.
But I've always done a theme suit though. Like, well, I
Yeah,
say
that's true.
theme, but more like a bad pun. Because I mean, Drosty, Zoctober, Doulahan.
Wait, was it Gogtober? Gogtober, right? Yeah.
Well, the
Gog.
GOG was released for the event itself, but they also did a Zoc for October in general.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that was the first suit when we had the international debut.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Rip Emblem's wallet.
Oof.
We don't talk about that. But for those who aren't catching the correlation for the Draw C, it's supposed to play Drac or
Yeah.
Dracula. For those of you listening at home. But we had it to Doulahan, spooky headless monster guy or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get to Toadsritter next year, Smile.
There we go.
I forget what the first Halloween was. I think it was the
There's a Draw C.
was it the Drosy? For the
It's a Draw C.
limited?
Oh, for the limited? Did they even do one?
I feel like it was the
I don't think they gave us. I don't think they gave us a mobile suit
the
until
desert ones.
the GOG.
The desert GM.
Was Desert around that time? That's a good question. I can't remember. It might have been.
And we talked about it last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't really remember.
But yeah. So yeah, that was a small tangent. So yeah, Dijeh SE-R. Pretty balanced.
Almost too balanced.
Yup. So let's go ahead and hop into the other patch notes. There's not too much here, but let's see.
Chat's saying it was the Desert Jam.
It was.
So okay, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
Stuff. Okay.
I forget if we normally have one. What's going on, Asian? If we normally have one for Christmas or what that one was.
Yeah, I definitely can't remember us having one for Christmas. I know we generally have a War in the Pocket theme going on.
Right, for
but
like banner or just extra levels or whatever.
When did we get
yeah,
the
I feel like
Downtime 2?
There probably was.
Was that
Was that Golden Week?
that
That was
Golden Week?
Golden.
Okay.
That was like in the middle of spring or some point, but yeah, that was in winter.
But yeah, we got the normal suit and cool and whatnot. We need better cosmetics, I think.
We really do. Lord help.
And the thing that got me was, and most of my tokens, was the banner that they have up for the Mud Rock level 3 and level 4. Surprised that it took them so long for this to happen. But
catch up.
yeah. So
maybe Agar was wrecking all of them, so it took him a while to piece one together.
But 550, 600 cost Mud Rock. Yeah, I think this holds up really well. I would say if you need something at those costs and you don't have a 550 or 600, that pretty much you didn't get the MLRS that they for the platinum medal where they handed that one out pretty much for free, then go for this or the 600 one even. It's a great suit. It is pretty much the what's it called? The explosion thing. Explosive reactive
armor?
Yeah, there we go. Explosive reactive is amazing. It's got a shield, which again has been my biggest complaint to other suits at 550 and 600 compared to the MLRS. Now it's not a shield that just won't ever die almost, but it's still a shield. The cannon damage is really solid, good splash area. The damage on the grenades always good. The beam rifle is always good damage. And if you're high enough rank, you can go try one out just for DP. And
Yeah.
there you go. And also, pro tip: anything you really do want to try out, and this also includes the ticket shop, because if you don't save, like I didn't save with the Zoc, then it doesn't get saved that you spent the tickets. So I don't have a level 2 Zoc, but I do have the level 5 firing program because I didn't get the level 2 Zoc. So there we go. Now watch the Zoc show up this week sometime. But the so if you want to try it, there you go. Easy way to try it. I think it's pretty expensive, like 90 to 100 and something thousand P. But really good suit though. Overall, probably arguably, well, I would say second best suit at 450 and second to third best, I'd say, at 500. So you're definitely getting a top 5 support at any of the costs that it exists now, I would say. Yeah, what do you guys think?
This is good. I don't know. Some people are saying if we're that it might struggle a little bit, but it still has some good output. I feel like they haven't messed with it too much that it would suffer too much going forward.
I think at these higher costs though, for like, I don't know, it has the shield, it hovers, it's really fast, it's maneuverable, it's tanky enough.
It's got the stun threshold on the rockets too, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, there's that too. And the beam almost never overheats, so have fun.
it's got
just
plenty of
swapping.
it has plenty of surface area to hit on people. Especially since some of the newer suits don't really, they have buffers but they don't rock shields. So
yeah,
I think it'll do all right.
I think another point in its favor though is now that it's level 3 and level 4, the stats are even higher, so that's even more defense for an already tanky suit.
Now the one thing people were talking about, which is a shame, is that it doesn't have new skills going up into the higher levels.
Yeah, that is true. So that could be a little oof. Level 4 though does get complex expansion slot level 2, so there's 2 more of every slot type. So that's always hype. But I think, I mean, this could be one of those cases too, and I find it at higher cost, starting around 400 to 450. If you're playing a higher level suit, you almost need its higher level weapon to go with it. One of these examples being like the Cold District. Like I don't think the Cold District really holds up unless you have its like level 4 machine gun at the same time. I mean, it's still solid, but yeah.
Here, real quick, Magnum. Just to clear up, you were thinking it has anti-blast, or you're thinking it has explosive reactive armor, but the Mudrock has anti-blast stabilizer.
Oh, it doesn't have explosive?
No,
that'd be cool if it didn't. It probably should have.
It sure would.
Especially if it's got to buck up against MLRSs and stuff. The opposing team.
Yeah, I thought it did have that.
But nope, it's a very old suit. It does not have that.
Maybe that's why I laugh every. Yeah, maybe that's because I'm like, haha, Dom Barrage, let's go.
Get the loops.
Because it has the explosive reactive.
Yeah, GM Cannon 2 has explosive reactive armor.
That's the one I'm probably thinking of then. Well, darn it.
Little awkward.
Well, not so much. Not so much. Which luckily at those costs though, a lot of things swap to beams for the most part. So
yeah, it doesn't deal with it too much regardless.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
But that means the MLRS
stats adjustments are interesting.
I was gonna say, do you have the stats pulled up? Because I am.
I sure
curious.
do, bud.
There we go. Let's get in on that.
I got the MLRS pulled up for reference as well. So, I'll just go over the base stats at level 2, just give us a kind of idea going up. But level 2 is 500, base HP is 14,000. When you go to level 3, which is 550,
wow.
you go up by 500 HP.
Oh, goody.
What? Oh,
So it's 14,500. Level 4 goes up to 15,000. So you gain 500 HP per level. Woo!
Woo!
okay. Never mind. I take back everything I just said. It
Wow.
might not have a place.
It's going strong.
I mean, I'll go and tell you right now, when we were going to get to final thoughts, I was going to say, like, if you're pulling for this suit, hope you get the Malurs instead. But
Ouch, dude.
anyway.
Oh, they did it dirty, man. Oh.
They did it dirty. This is like the old school buffs that we used to get.
Yeah.
It's just like really piddly amounts of stuff.
For sure.
You know what?
Retro buffs for a retro suit.
You know what I feel? I feel like they're either feeling like this thing is the Gunner Gundam because it took forever for us to get a level 2 Gunner as well and a level 2 Mudrock period. And yeah, I just wonder if they fear this thing because it was like
the Gunner of high cost.
Yeah, like I wonder if
You
this
need to
is
just stop being so cowardly if that's the case, because I feel like we say that a lot in speculation. About them just being afraid of like putting certain things.
I mean, probably
it's not a general, so they can't make it broken.
Well, there you go. But also, I think the more likely answer here, and my guess, is laziness. And I would almost wonder if this was like old code that they have, because recently from newer suits. So there was somebody who stopped by one time. This is way back. They were making like a spreadsheet kind of thing where it would show all the differences between every level and how the differences work and all that stuff. And at the time, literally every suit, when it went up a level, would always have +6 to its total resistances and certain things like that. Well, I wonder if this is just like old stuff they've got, and they're just like, well, let's just put a level 3 and 4, and the health just is automatically set up to go up by 500 because back in the day when they put it together, that's how
This is how it be.
Yeah, that's how the Mudrock would have worked if they put in like
that's the increase from level 1 to level 2.
Yeah, so I just wonder if it's that kind of situation where they just haven't updated how they used to change the numbers.
Yeah, because the MLRS gets 1,000 HP per level compared to the Mudrock.
And it has a shield.
The defenses are worse. The MLRS has better range defenses. The Mudrock has 23 for ballistic at level 3, 26 at level 4. Beam resistance is 21 at level 3 and 23 at level 4. Whereas the MLRS has, at the same level, it would be, it's at 550. You have 26 live ammo or ballistic and 26 beam. So you're up by 3% on ballistic and 5% on beam. Melee correction is where it falls off, though. The Mudrock has 18% melee defense, or 18 melee defense, 20 at level 4, where the MLRS only has 8 at that level. The range damage modifier is lower. The Mudrock has 35 and 37 between each level, where melee modifier is 18, then 20. The MLRS has 45 adjustment at that level. Which, in that regard, I will say to the Mudrock's credit, though, which, I don't know, I don't think I would heard if it had the same amount, but the Mudrock has more stuff to do, I guess. Mudrock or MLRS is pretty much just like missiles, Vulcans, and sometimes a downswing or something. But the Mudrock can, do your standard cannon stagger beam rifle shot combo. So it's got that going for it.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're pretty much never not firing. I normally do cannon into beam into grenade into beam into melee if I can fit it in, or into another cannon into knockdown. Just always be doing something with that suit. It's kind of crazy, and like I feel like I've never overheat the beam rifle. So, but yeah. What I mean, I guess speed and stuff, are they about the same? I would say they have the same speed, right?
Yeah, it's not
Maybe
super
without the
fast.
shield.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Mudrock's faster. It's 125 compared to 115.
So marginally so, but you'd probably notice it in some situations.
Yeah.
Well, that's base. I'm sure once you include the reduction from the shield, the MLRS should feel slower.
A
It's
bit
much slower
much slower.
Slower.
than the MLRS in that regard. Boosted movement is slower than the MLRS, though.
What?
You boost at 170 compared to MLRS is 180.
Well, with those big old wing packs it's got, I would
I
hope
mean,
it would
yeah,
go a little
Yeah.
faster.
but still,
The
like,
base base thrust is 55 for both. Good.
isn't lore-wise though, like the Mudrock just like this super boosty, like,
Zippy ass thing, yeah.
yeah, they got like super. They were just like, we used like overpowered Dom thrust technology or whatever. Like, we just went super ham on this, and it has 52 extra thrusters or something. I remember reading that because it kind of showed up in the tabletop here recently. So I'm just like, I remember going through all the lore.
It had like a whole like command boost going on. It's pretty fast. But for this game, it was pretty fast back in the day, especially for a support.
Oh yeah, back in the day, that was like the only thing that could compare was the Dom Barrage at like just. And this thing is just like, it's like when the Armor GM came out. The reason why the Armor GM was just like sup, just showed up and was like, I exist now. Everything bow to me. I'm kind of sad the Armor GM didn't, or has kind of fallen out of meta a little bit. But the like just having that ability to move around that fast with such a small body frame compared to everything else is just insane. Then what's the part slots on the different levels?
So for level 3 on the Mudrock, the top slots go up to 10 and 11 respectively between each level. 16 and or 14 and 16 for the mid slots, and the bottom slots go to 16 to 17. Looks like across each level, all of the slots except for mid increase by 1. Mid increases by 2 per level. So you get 4 more per thing.
Melee resist and
Let's
shield
see.
parts?
So that's 550 level 3.
Actually, how many long again?
That is 40. 16 and 17 between levels 3 and 4.
You need, I think, 18 or 19 to even take use of the level 5 firing, by the way, before it's actually worth. I think it's 19 for it to be worth actually the damage increase, because if it's 18, I think you get like 1 more percentage damage over.
I will say though,
level 4 through 1.
The part slot spread is the same between the level 1 MLRS and the level 1 Mudrock. Like, that seems to be relatively consistent on suits. They both have a total of 40. It's just obviously distributed differently.
But like the they need a small round of the firing program. It needs buffed. Just saying. Again, ranting. 10 and 6. Wait, 16 total compared to the raid, or general melee program that they would use, which is what is that? 11 total? Like,
they want you to
what?
bunga.
What is this? What is this nonsense? Like, you can use the level 5 melee on so many, like, even 300 or even less cost suits, and yet and it be, you know, a damage increase for melee. Whereas the like until you get to the MLRS, again, 19 long range slots till you get a 5% increase, whereas a 6% increase. One of those. Either way, that is kind of worth, but you're still giving up a lot of mid range slots, and the only thing you lose, luckily, most of the time, is the reload part, which is just, you know, on most suits, like, oh, you saved 1.9 seconds on a good save, unless you're like the
Right.
MLRS with its actual missile pack on the back. I think that's
Whole
like
ass second or something like that.
that's like
2
3
seconds even.
seconds. Yeah, so that's actually significant. But I'll take the extra damage at this point,
Just make them count.
pretty much. And with the lack of any kind of skill increase, okay, fair enough. I was just talking out of my ass like 5 minutes ago or whatever.
Yeah.
When I was like, this thing's so awesome. I was like, I'm like, now after hearing that, I'm like, come on, man. Somebody just stop me. Somebody just be like, yo.
Bueller?
Like, oh, man, that is so sad, dude. Okay, it needs a buff now at level 3 and 4. They won't do it. There's no way we're getting that next month or Christmas, probably. I'm sad. Well, I
Could be
guess.
cool. I still have yet to see one in the wild at those costs. Hopefully we do, just so we can actually see firsthand.
I mean, I see the 500 show up at 550 games every now and then, but not bad. Just a little bit lower cost, and I'm just like, why are you here when I'm raining down missiles on them?
Just straight up, like, I'm doing your job better. Where?
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually kind of sad now with that. But anyway, there's that. If you're a support main, we got something to roll on, I guess.
If you're feeling nostalgic, you just really, really got to get your.
Oh, Gustav?
What?
Really got to get your
Your Mudrock fixed or whatever.
Yeah, it's like if the Dom Barrage came out, I would like if they put another level of the Dom Barrage in, and that was a banner. I'd probably drop at least $10 just to try. Like, please don't do that till after Black Friday, and I get at least some computer parts. But yeah, if they wanna get my money, that would be that's like the only thing I could think of. A new level of that might. Yeah, that'd be a 550 Dom Barrage. Let's go, dude. What emblem?
I didn't say anything, man.
Oh, okay, so next thing, premium login bonus for November.
Shit, what was it? I forgot already.
The first one is the full custom, level 1. All these are level 1. The second period is the Hyakushiki. And then the third period, which is the one you can get for free, essentially is the Quell. So, yeah, that's. I mean, again, real quick, when I say you can get the Quell for free, essentially, I don't know how many tokens you actually have to spend and actually get tickets. So that could be skewed because I've played the game for a long time and get a lot of dupes.
Technically, it's free for you at that point, but for most other people,
yeah. So I don't know whether I'm spending tokens and getting dupes. If there's literally a month that I don't spend any tokens, I can actually confirm that. But that, you know, someone did call me out at some point. Was like, are you getting a lot of this on recycled tickets? So I haven't actually went and counted, but yeah, should clarify that when I say that. But from what I can tell, you can get the third one by the end of the month if you just play enough and, you know, get those 100 space games in. You'll be fine.
5 billion space games.
But yeah, overall, I don't think unless Lotus doesn't have the full custom. There's probably not too many people welling on this. I don't know if he ever got it, but
He did get it.
there we go. So
Also, I don't know if he wailed, but I wish Lotus had waited until the 1st of next month before he did it.
oh well,
Oh,
Yeah.
just so it would have transitioned over to.
Just so to transition to the platinum, yeah.
well, I meant just welling for the
Don't worry about it.
It's done, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, cool suits though. It'll be cool to get some extra enhancement on the quell, but like this past month, I still want to know. I still haven't made that Reddit post, but I really want to just go on there and be like, so, whole time, who welled because of Mark II premium login bonus, and who welled because of the Galbaldi beta premium login bonus? Because at their base cost, those are still like the solid meta suit.
Yeah,
Um,
they're pretty good, you guys.
so
I was just trying to get a Methus, and he gave me a Baldi Alpha or Baldi Beta. I don't know what's going on, man.
I mean, yeah, there we go. That's the real answer. Everybody was going for that Methus. So
It's
yeah,
just the I got the rock of the group.
pretty much. So I mean, any other thoughts on the premium stuff? Like this past month was like the most pay to win that they went with it. I guess now that that's out of the way, almost any suits on the table now. I mean, we were wondering when they were going to do the Mark II.
I feel like they're trying not to set a trend between like pay to win and just like putting in suits that aren't particularly useful.
Yeah.
They're trying to tread that line right now.
I mean, last month was pretty.
Mark II's been out for a while too, though, so there's that
true.
to consider.
But
now
still,
I'll be impressed when they
everyone-
put the Methus on there.
Not everyone has an outstanding like time between when they actually got it. Like me, and I only have one level of it too.
yeah. Now, if they put like the Methus or like the Cubile on it, within like, if it's less than 6 months, then yeah, then they've hit that pay to win territory. I could agree with that. So yeah, recycle ticket shop stuff. Agzaku level 3. Thoughts on that?
It is indeed a suit. I feel like it's one of the first suits that really gave us like a better idea of what high mobility kind of stuff is gonna actually be like. Because it's very reactive. It still has a good like neutral speed to it and all that. And it kind of started to bring in the whole like beam based initiate into Bunga sort of pattern. So I feel like it's still serviceable. Are you gonna want to use it over other things? No, but I think for new players it's still not a bad place to start.
Level 3 though, I think it's pretty much fallen off at that point. Because what is its base cost? Is it 350?
350.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it at base cost. I mean, I like the machine gun, so there's always that. Like that buff to that machine gun, that's sexy. But as far as like a meta suit, could I recommend spending recycle tickets on a level 3? I would probably say don't do it, would be my immediate response. If somebody asked me, I'd be like, nah, just don't. Unless that is just your, suit. Then fair enough. But and again, this is one you can just buy in the DP store and try it if you really want to. And I think it's easy enough to get that it's not that, like you don't have to be like Ensign 1 or something. But the next suit, though, also has a base cost of 350, and I would say it is probably top 2 or top 3 in 350, the Goof Flight Test type. So, by my reaction, if you couldn't guess, I would say yes, spin the tickets yesterday.
But Magnum, I can't just mindlessly float above the enemy team while getting shot and get free wins with the flight types anymore. They're garbage. Why would I roll on them?
I'm surprised by your
this was the
enthused.
general, and
I have to think about my gameplay now.
I
Well, they both
still
got hit
don't-
by the nerfs, though.
I still don't. I mean that they just fall out of the air. Like they used to have like essentially maneuver armor and damage control 3 in the air. Like now they're actually like maneuver armor and damage control maybe 1 or 2 at this point. Actually, I wonder if that stat's on the wiki right now. Do we know what flight actually adds? Because
I have to pull it back up.
I feel like that's the difference. Like it feels like it's definitely better than base. It's closer to damage control 1 if I had to guess. And before it was like probably damage control 2 or 3 even. Like
That's
it was
the dom.
insane before. And unlike the go flight type, its damage didn't get completely wrecked at ranged. So it got the Mark II treatment and got slapped on the wrist. So yeah, the overall though, you got bazooka, you got missiles, you got your long range Gatling hands, which I'm just like, why can't everything like why can't all the machine gun like random weapons just be as good as the Gatling hands that it has?
Yeah.
Because they're just the normal Vulcan hands, so it's like, come on. Like if they have like 300, 400 range, I can't remember how far they are, but they're decent. Like I'm surprised every time I try to fire.
It's like 400, but it's crazy what you can hit with them.
Oh yeah. But I still would argue this is probably. I mean, you want one on the team. You don't want too many of them on the team. But I would argue it's top 3 at 350 for general suits. Maybe top 5 to top 7 that I could think of for 400. If you happen to get the level 2 at some point.
I don't know. I'm kind of so from my understanding of this, they don't tell me what the original was, but it sounds like when they made the change, according to the wiki, the way it works now after they nerfed it was like when you receive a stagger, it increases the stagger value that you take while you're flying by 30%. Then it's rounded down to the nearest whole number. So from what they're saying, a typical bazooka shot in this example is an 80% stagger build. And when you get hit by it, it goes, so you would get a 104% stagger added to your build up. But like a smaller thing like a Vulcan would round down and stay at like 2%. So I guess at that point, it would be kind of more based on
Wait, does a
if
bazooka?
you're good.
I mean, I've been hit with multiple bazookas though, and haven't fallen out of the sky. Doesn't make.
Yeah, that's, I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah,
Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But the Vulcan shot thing sounds like that sounds like about right.
Yeah. So I think the big takeaway here is that your stagger threshold is higher. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me by how much, but the change that they made to make it not as good was that your stagger rate is increased while you're in the air. So
I think it's just
you still have a higher.
So like consecutive hits now are even worse than they were before.
Well, yeah, things with small modifiers won't do much. So like Vulcans or those weapons that do like 2% per shot or whatever, those won't really be affected as much unless the 30% more gets it to another whole value. Because if it's at a point anything, it's going to round down. But the big stagger options will work on a little bit better.
I feel
it's
like
kind of what
this
it seems
is,
like it's saying.
I just wonder if this is just damage control 1 and they when this came out, because this came out like what, last year after the anniversary event?
Hmm.
The adjustment. Hold on a second. This was changed. Where is it? It was this year in May.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's the end of
the
May.
flight test type. When did it come out? Sorry, that's more what I was asking.
Oh,
Pretty
second.
sure like the year before.
Yeah, I was thinking. I couldn't remember if it was before or after the anniversary, but I'm pretty sure it was before the Western release. Correct?
Hmm.
Maybe.
And then the damage control change was after the Western release. So I'm just wondering if.
There it is.
Oh, I'm getting no in chat. Actually, you know
It
what'd
was
be
added
funny?
in February. Yeah,
Oh.
this February. The flight type was added in February of this year. So
Okay. So I just
It really
wonder.
feels like so much longer ago. Holy shit!
wow, it's already in
Really?
Washington when it came out. That's nuts. I
Yeah.
feel like it's been in the game longer than that. Okay.
I just wonder if it's they just had an awkward understanding of it, because this again is the wiki, right? So like I don't know if they're straight up data mining everything, or they're just super testing like crazy people. I mean, that's how I've been doing most of my stuff, is trying to test. So I'm guessing it just is damage control 1 is essentially what it has in flight mode, if I had to guess. Because that's what it feels like.
It's from the explanation that they have, it works like damage control, but the way they nerfed it is by making your stagger accumulation increase when you're in flight mode. You get 30% additional stagger.
Oh, that's what.
how they nerfed
Okay,
it.
that makes sense.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So that's why. Oh, so that's why it's 104.
Right, because it's 30%
Yeah.
more on an 80% stagger in that example.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Never mind. I was like, wait, what? But I feel
Gustav,
like
what is it?
Nothing.
What is it, Gustav?
Nothing.
No. Go ahead. Say it. I've been derping hard. I derped on the mud rock. I derped on this. I'm just, oh man. I'm just getting
one of
lazy,
those,
man. I got my head pillow back. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm just chill, man. I'm like sinking in my chair over here. And let me just recline back and go to bed real quick. Oh, big.
Taking that real quick.
It's like some Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright stuff, where you just like you thumb through to different people there, and like Gustav, you seem to have something to say about what the defendant just said. Would you mind trying to enlighten the rest of the court, please?
Did you almost fall? No, you're good.
I bumped it. I went back too far and bumped it. So I was like, no, please don't fall on me, please.
Wings gonna donk him right in the head.
Yeah, the barbatos in the wing are just gonna be like, sup. Okay. Anyway, okay. Well, either way though, I still think. Well, here, what's your opinion? I think I've already made it clear that I love the flight test type.
Mm.
What do you guys think? Still viable? Still good? Or trash juice?
I definitely think it's. Go ahead, Gustav. You got it, bud.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I feel
you're
like
good.
it's more of a. It feels more like it's a guilty pleasure suit for me, because I know that it's not as good as it used to be, just because I played it a lot. But I don't know. The ratio of like failure to success seems like it's a little bit more leaning into failure range, but that's me having more of an affinity for suits that are a bit more self-sufficient, and it definitely was before the nerfs. Not to mention we have to remember that they had the buff because initially it actually kind of sucked.
That is true. It received what, like, not only I think a buff to itself, but they also buffed like the flight stuff.
Like the
Twice?
skill itself, it did, yeah.
Yeah, so it got more HP, 1,000 more for each level. The thruster capacity increased by 5. They increased its strafing speed. They expanded the ASL range of its finger Vulcans, and the leg rockets got stronger. And they also made the hitbox better on those as well.
Yeah, that's actually when I got mine, was right after that buff, and I was just like, this thing's amazing.
Yeah, they took that away after after the debuffs though. After everyone was using it, they took the 1000 HP away level 1 and took away 500 level 2. They reduced its shooting modifier, which they didn't even adjust before, so they made its shooting worse. And then they did the change to the flight system as a whole.
Mhm. But no, it's still serviceable. It's also just good for positioning and, actually doing it kind of like a pseudo support kind of suit now. Which kind of feels like that's the role that they wanted it to be in the first place. So if that's the case, then it's doing all right.
But yeah, Emblem, your thought?
I mean, it's pretty much the same as it's been since they made the adjustments. Like, do I think the suit is broken? No. I think it's solid. It's just not as, set it and forget it as it was before. Kind of like I was jokingly alluding to when you brought it up. You just don't have to free reign that the suits had in their prime, where you could literally just take on the whole enemy team in the air, be like, me down or whatever. You have to play smart, know where your landing spots are, fight somewhere to where if you do get knocked down, you aren't punished immediately, just stuff like that. Like, is it the strongest suit ever? No. Do I think it's still semi-viable? I'd probably say so. We might be at a point in time right now where the suit's a sleeper enough to where it could shake up games a little bit too. Like, because nobody's really looking for it because it doesn't really get as much use anymore. Yeah. Granted, I had a game earlier where, or good.
Well, I still think it's like top 3. Again, the number 1 at that cost is definitely the cavalry. Like, nothing's gonna beat that. The only thing that comes close is the Hangar in the water, if there's water. But yeah, like, other than that, I'm trying to think what is good at that cost that would compare. I mean, I think the flight just adds enough. Well, here we go. Okay, I'll kind of compromise on this a little bit. I'll agree with you guys, because here's my recent experience with it. The games are just easy mode because people are looking at me, and kind of like you said, I know my landing spots. I know, like, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm over a building. They'll knock me down. Maybe someone will jump up if they're really on point, and then they'll maybe get one melee off on me, not the whole team dogpile on me and I just die. So there is that. I'm normally trying to find my position that I can essentially be a turret in the air, and then if I get knocked down, be ready to land in a good spot. But if they just ignore me and my team just gets ran through, the games are bad. So I've had that experience every now and then. So definitely mountain, fort base, a few things like that, I guess, is where I would make the claim that it is definitely top 3 in S tier.
I feel like it's made a really good renaissance for itself in jungle as well.
Yeah, jungle's not. Yeah, especially firing in the water, because you can get
you
over.
Can search for suits really easy.
Yeah, you can get over it, find them, and then they can't do anything back to you. You're just like, hey, firing you, get wrecked. So
That's bringing in some suits to mention as well, like the Dom Tropical and the like the Easy 8 as well. But the Hygog is really strong. I agree with that.
I don't know. I think those are kind of old at this point, and they might need some bringing up. I guess we did get the Aqua GM2, which is pretty nice at that cost as well.
That's not the same cost though, right? Isn't that
350 is the...
Oh, is it 3? Okay, yeah. Okay, level 2.
Yeah, you straight wreck gogs with that thing. But yeah, I would say, well, I guess here's the final point. Would you spend the tickets on it?
I probably wouldn't, but I already have one, so. But
what if I could? Give me that enhancement points.
I don't think it'd be bad. I think for those players that like the shooting style of play, like it's not a bad suit to pick up.
Gustav, you recommend it?
If you're tired of cold districting on the ground.
I think if it's something that you want to experience in terms of like if you just don't have like flight suits, then it's not that bad. I can see you doing some decent stuff in there. I don't think it got hit as hard as its raid cousin, so I'd still recommend it.
Cool. Okay. And then lastly, which I'm definitely hyped for. Well, I mean, I've already got one, but still, B-Bazooka in the DP store. Apparently, it's the same cost and same rank needed as the GPO1. So it's like 145, 125, something like that. DP 1,000. No, 200,000. That's what it was. My bad. So 200,000 DP for this thing. I love it. And I mean, it's now for DP, so there you go. But I'm also a GBO2 super fan.
Yeah. So resident GBO2 stan. And back when they first debuted, they were definitely the suit to bully and or beat because they just had a lot of output.
I just remember at the time too. The other thing with it is it was just like
that was back when flight control was starting to get thrown out there too. And it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much fast enough with that shield at the time. That the only things that really countered it too much was the GPO 1 and 3, and it's just like before the Mark II showed up to just, swing and take half of its health, like it was tanky enough to where anything shooty you didn't really care too much, and most of the time I remember Stamens would just hit the shield half the time. Because I was normally on the receiving end of the GPO2 because I didn't get it forever. But when I finally did, I was still clapping with it, and it was out of meta at that point dealing with Mark IIs. So, all I'm saying. But yeah, for its day, it was like, I just remember people saying like they would get bullied just for using the O2 in like custom games. So, but
didn't make people very happy to see them. Or it's just like, I got this O2. Big old fridge to deal with.
Yep. I like that it's kind of a tanky raid. If you play it and really use the shield, you just kind of end up being able to soak up so many extra hits. I get in there, I downswing, knock like 3 people over, and then put up the fridge door and retreat. But any other thoughts with that one? I mean, anything in the DP store is just like, well, that's cool.
Especially since, like, eventually you'll just get to it.
Yeah. Sadly, Ensign 1 for anybody wondering for that, because I don't think I actually said the rating or ranking.
It's gotta be a little bit.
Okay, and clan matches. There's none this weekend, but there is one next weekend. So the 7th, 4 a.m. because daylight savings time.
Okay.
So that'll be 7 a.m. for me.
Worse.
Yeah, it got worse.
No.
But well, here it's 566.
An hour sooner.
No. Yeah.
For anybody on the West Coast, just pull an all-nighter at that point.
Oh god. Yeah, just don't sleep, stupid.
Then you just go to bed when the sun comes up. For me, I'll be waking up just to do some squats and start fixing breakfast. If I wake up. That's a big if. A really big if. Does it happen on the weekend half the time? No.
No.
Not at all. Does it happen sometimes during the week?
Magnum, I'm like not even trying to be funny when I say this, but like, you saying something like that is just a tad bit scary though.
What?
A little concerning.
Well, just it's more of just given like, diabetes and stuff like that, like you saying like if you wake up is it's just a tad bit
Oh!
frightening, at least to me. Like I don't know if you realize that. And like I said, it wasn't intended for humor, but just like, oh God, Magnum, no.
I mean, by contrast, that's his sense of humor.
I mean, yeah,
about the whole
that's
thing.
pretty much it. That's on par. That seems like a funny joke. You know what? That is calculated humor. No big deal.
Oh gosh. I guess we gotta hit the morbid points every now and
Yeah,
then.
we gotta be a little fatalistic about it when you realize what tone to take.
Hey man, I worked in a hospital. That's pretty much all that goes on in the back is just
Oh
morbid
gosh.
humor.
More
Oh
humor.
gosh. I mean, I gotta get through the job somehow, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I just remember like the surgery jokes that would happen. I was just like, oof.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, for real. But I mean, like, exactly. They got to get through that job somehow. So, but anyway, back on to the clan rank stuff. So basic,
Knock on
Ruined
wood.
City, 6v6, 500 cost. So that'll be interesting. We can get 6 people together. I'm pretty hyped because I think recently, I don't know if like they've dropped off in like players or what, but pretty much when it like comes to what was it, the 400 space that we had, we were like 1 win for making top 100, and I don't know whether it was just nobody wanted to play space because that was the night one or what it was, but yeah, we like I think our average was like C for our rank or rating, I should say.
And you
And
guys all it. That's crazy.
yeah, so like I was just like, yeah, guys, we're probably not gonna. I mean, I was already kind of defeated at that point because if the higher up teams are A plus or S minus at that point, like there's gonna be no way you're making it into the space if you're like averaging on like a C or something. And
I think a big part of it was space, but also like in this bye week, I think we're gonna end up having a new suit announced at this point because they've already run their course with the RAM.
oh yeah, that's right. We might
They
actually
still haven't
get that.
announced the updated rewards, so
Yeah.
there's a chance.
Okay. Well, here's a quick one then, since we're here on this. Or actually, do we want to save it for the new suit speculation?
We could.
Okay. Because yeah, we'll try to remember what the clan match new suit is. We'll add that to that topic. And then the next week after that, on the 14th, 4v4, 600, simple battle, derelict colony. That'll be interesting. Kind of curious.
Here, I'll keep talking about this. I'll be right back. BRB.
Okay. I've had a theory. I don't know if anybody's ever looked it up, but I wonder if like is it just me or does most of the clan matches seem to correspond with the cost of the new suit? Like it may be just because it always fits in it because there's a level 1 or a level 2. But
I came back. That's definitely the case now.
but like last week, 650. We had a 650. The Isaac came out. It was 400 that week. I don't know if was it the clan ranked calling it the entire time. So I'm real curious to see if we have a 500 next week. I've just started.
So like if we should be looking at it more.
Yeah, like
I feel like some of the simple battles have been pretty low in cost by comparison. So I don't know.
Oh, we did have a 300 that one time.
Yeah.
What did we get that week though?
Not a 300. Suit.
Yeah, definitely not a 300. So I guess
unless it was that one of the weeks that we had like a shadow suit maybe, and it was lower.
I mean, the last one would have been the Aqua GM is the only thing, but I can't remember what it was that week.
What week that was?
Okay, I'm actually gonna go. Since we got a second, I'm just gonna look this up.
Mystery and intrigue.
When was the Aqua stuff? What was the suit that came out with it? Does anybody know? Hmm. Was it Babu? Was it the Babu when it came out? Oh, that's right. That's why I didn't do this. I remember now. I was like, couldn't I?
Wasn't it the Isaac?
Was it the no? Well, the Babu actually has which is before it has a high GOG extra level. So I think it was even before then.
Well, I thought the Aqua Jam came with the Isaac.
Oh, actually, yes, that is correct. Well, in that case, it was a 400.
Or is that not what you were asking?
That's kind of what I was asking, and then I derped after
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah, we got it with the Isaac, so because that was 400 clan ranked. So yeah, I don't know but I just wonder. I'm curious to see if we get a 500 next week. That'll be interesting if it's like, but again, we can't really go back and look. I mean, I guess the only way that I know that I could go back and look is just go through my update videos and just fast forward through them because I always look at what the clan rank stuff is. Because that would be an interesting thing if it just lined up most of the time. But okay, anyway, so yeah, that's the patch notes. So
We tried saying
AMA
the
time.
Methus as well, or saying the Methus over the Isaac, but I don't think they added any aquatic suits when the Methus came out because I remember us like giving them a hard time about it. But I'd have to look. You might
No,
be right. We just had
I
to look.
literally just had it up. The Isaac was when the Aqua GM hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I had it up on the screen there. So, but yeah, there we go. So new suit? Question mark. So I guess we'll do the clan suit since it's probably gonna show up in the next update. They'll probably announce it, I'm guessing. I agree with Gustav on that.
So, see, originally, and the Ramzagok is still on brand for this, but I was still calling it like GBO1 suits. So I'm assuming it's gonna be the same for this at least.
I just broke the overlay for a second.
Oh no.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely gonna be the lower cost kind of thing.
What do we have left in that regard? Like half cannon's a thing. That's the one I always remember.
Oh,
There's
dude. Man, if
or
it's
like
the half cannon.
the Tailrider VG is still something they could do since they just threw out the Dillahan too.
That'd be cool.
Because originally that was like, as I was saying a billion times before, like a dual banner, or like they were in the same art for the first game.
I mean, my pick is on the I think it's the Zaku Mariner. That one's in the first game.
Kind of hope not. Well,
I mean,
it's actually just
it's
like,
the embodiment of clan battle suits. Underwhelming, isn't it?
underwhelming, but also like still filling in a void for like new aquatics.
Well, they're never going to release them for real. Like the Aqua Gene was just a fluke, right? We have clan battle to fill out our aquatic roster for the
Fingers
for everyone
crossed
else.
that that's how they do it. But yeah, it's probably gonna be clan battles. Just to, disgusting. Usually I'm the one that gets too real with it, but damn, dude. Why you gotta hurt me?
I'm too jaded this week. I gotta to be real.
Let's see. Yeah, if it's a support, I'm gonna go with the half cannon. I want to see the half cannon.
Yeah, can't be hype.
ABG.
It just sucks because like now that we have a presence for them bringing back shadow suits, I just kind of would rather them do that instead of it just being tied to the matches at all.
Because I'm honestly surprised the Aqua Jam wasn't a clan reward.
Oh yeah,
For real though. It's another raid we could get.
Gato's Gelgoog? I don't know.
So I just
If we wanted another Ag would be good too. That's one with the drill hands.
There
right?
we go. That's it.
It would be kind of cool just because they could probably like load it up with a bunch of sub weapons.
That would be a thing too. Oh, just to mention, if we get the ag or just anything of a drill arm, I want to do penetrating shield damage.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yes,
if I have
please.
a drill, there ain't no shield stopping me. I tell you what.
Just go in there. What shield?
That'd be going too. Ramba Raw Zaku 1. Doen Zaku.
Yes, please. I'd say Ramba Raw Zaku 1 or
On fucking
like
you.
We just need those to bring some life into a low cost, honestly.
exactly.
This is something they should have done a long time ago. The only problem though is like it might be too late. Do you think anyone would actually roll on a low cost suit?
I mean, if it was
Like
a
obviously people will. They're good.
Shadow or limited suit, I could see that.
Yeah,
I
they're
feel like
definitely
it's-
gonna have it as a
I
main.
feel like it'd still be too low for clan match suits. But then again, you also have stuff like the Night Seeker too, and that's pretty low
Mhm.
ball.
Yeah. But it's 250 and not 200.
200. Yeah.
I think it's just been 250 or
Bump it down. I wouldn't mind that. That's something they'd never done retroactively, is just like put it at another like lower cost.
That probably set a precedent that they don't want to dip into though, because it would shift the meta
Entire, yeah.
of cost. Yeah.
yeah.
Because people would be like, what about this suit then? And like it would
Mhm.
just keep going.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to open that can of worms if that was them either, so I can get that.
Okay, so I guess that's the clan theory stuff. What do we think for the actual new suit next week?
I really wasn't seeing this one coming. So I'm
Yeah.
even more normal. Like I am not super sure. I'm still gonna call some of the usual Zeta mainstays, but like man, like
Good.
I wouldn't mind just them fucking around more with MSV stuff at this point. They're gonna keep doing that, stuff like that just to go for like, left field.
I would like to see. Well, okay, so I'm gonna go with next clan match is 500.
Mhm.
Go with a 500 suit. Would we see? Would we think the Zissa would fit there? I think it would be higher, to be honest. But
I don't know, for like a walking missile barrage, 500 to 550 feels about right to me. Like
So
maybe they give it to one with a shotgun.
oh, yeah, let's
that'd
go.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Support with a proper shotgun.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh
would it
no,
be-
it's gonna be a full custom.
Oh my! Get out of here! No.
Sorry, I know it's Xeon, but it gets the Federation shotgun.
Oh, that would
Oh no.
be shitty.
So I'm gonna go stuff that I think 500. Would the Dovin Wolf be 500? That's one I want to see.
Well, that'd probably be like 550 at least. Because you're talking about it having incomes and stuff too.
Go with Zaku 3 then for a general. This is support Zaku 3 general and raid methods.
Raid methods. The raid just becomes the O.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna do a 650 next week just because if they go back to 650 again for another week with the 600 in between, like they're gonna get so much rage from everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Getting yelled
So
at.
I mean, it's definitely 550 or lower. I would bet money on that. Hmm.
But I've been inclined to agree. I was thinking of Draven brought up the on my end, and I personally think it would fit in 500 as well as a support. So I don't think that'd be bad. I wish I could remember. Yeah, now she's bringing up the RX 780. I'll have to see what that looks like. I can't remember.
Mm.
I remember it being mentioned. I just can't remember what it looks like. But we've talked about that one before.
It can run a beam machine gun? Oh shit.
One
Beam machine
second.
gun, shotgun, beam rifle, missile pod launcher, and beam saber. And then it's got a waist scattering beam gun. Like it has gooch. It says it has Vulcans, but where are they?
Oh, it's the prototype Mark II. Okay. It's EXO. Okay.
Hmm. There's also one that has like a booster on it that makes it look a lot like the Methus. I would assume that would be like a space only specific one. That'd be interesting if they had both.
Sorry, which suit?
There's this
Oh, right.
there's like 3 different configurations. There's the OG, there's one that's got the back boosters, and then there's another one that was the sleeves that has the big like Gyaradoga like shield on the side. And only like 1 set of missile launchers on the other shoulder.
Hmm.
Lavender is this up? The fuck?
Oh,
This
very
some build
cool.
bullshit? Yeah.
We talk about the Gaz L at some point.
Oh, just the gases in general, yeah.
Yeah.
Would they have
That's around
2
the
of them
cost,
and
right?
then like just make them different types?
Probably different types.
Except support.
Yep, no support. Does this Akai it looks kind of cool too?
You know what? I'm just really sad though. We're probably gonna have to wait a little bit before a 650, and I'm like, wait a minute, we still don't have a 650 native support,
Oh, we sure don't.
and we don't have a flying transformable support.
It's
We
never
never
gonna
will.
happen.
Like how me and Gustav are on the same page.
It's too late.
Oh man.
So many chances and so many suits, and it's just it ain't.
Ugh.
You gotta get ready for your support
Gaza
Koogaloo.
D, man, Gaza D.
Koogaloo, funnel boogaloo.
Ugh.
Oof. The pain.
Big oof. Hmm.
So close to another 10 spin. But
Hmm.
salmon in base camp.
That's about all I got. Anything else?
Yeah. It feels like it's actually a mystery again, just because of the stuff that they're pulling from.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's like, goddamn, it just makes the segment hard.
Magnum, like Draven made a perfectly valid point in chat. Supports get the only non-flying transformable, so why should they get something that's general and raid only?
Oh no. It's true though.
Okay, there we go. I just let my frustration out. I muted. Oh, we're okay. Oh man. Okay. But yeah, if we ever got anything else for new suits, you guys want to hop into some shoutouts?
Sure, sounds good.
Hey, here we go.
Okay, shout out to Gundam Maniac.
Yes.
Former podcast member.
GNDM
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maniac.
Battle operations as well as SRW.
Among other things.
Yes.
Yep. Twitch.tv/ and on YouTube and
I think also on Twitter.
Twitter. I was gonna say, hang on, I can look it up, guys. We actually got a comment on like our second episode here today.
Yeah. Hang on.
Let me just go to
Comments
the
on a YouTube? Nani?
of course, guess what the comment was?
Yeah. In fact, he was doing Super Robot Wars. Yeah.
Is it are we being ridiculed?
This is like episode, I don't know, like I can't remember. Hang on, let me look. Which one was this?
Oh, you're talking about one of the early podcast episodes,
Yeah,
or
this
like more
is
recently?
this is like
Oh. I thought you meant like the second episode you posted.
Oh,
from
this is
last
episode
week.
this is episode 10. This is what this one is. And it's just like, by the way, timestamp when they actually start talking about Gundam content.
I remember that. Yeah.
No. This will just happen literally 22 hours ago. I'm just like,
nice. Well,
yes.
Somebody's watching the podcast at least.
Yes.
On YouTube.
It is great. It was great.
What were we talking about in that episode even?
Yes.
Oh, I kind of want to know.
Type B.
Tangible.
I remember it's the Type B that came out at that point.
That was one of those ones where we were kind of dunking on it because, like, yep, it sure is a support.
And I was like, yeah, it's cool, guys. It's cool. I got to play it. A friend of mine got. I just remember clicking the timestamp. It's like a friend of mine got it. I didn't get it, but I got to play it. Oh, there we go. But the real reason why I clicked on this, and yes, Twitter. Got a mini.
Hey,
There you go.
that works right.
Confirmed. There we go. So now, Gustav. Shout out.
Okay. Gustav _13 XIII on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Just finished up G Generation Cross Rays, working on Yakuza 3. Be on the lookout for that quick bout of us trying to do Streets of Kamurocho as well later on. Hilarity and technical issues ensued, but it was fun. Enjoyed it. And hopefully we can do some other like group stuff later on as well.
Cool. Emblem.
And I am Gaming Who. You can find me on the internet. I try to go by GamingEmblem. I stream on Twitch. I occasionally post videos on YouTube, like the locations of all the Doulahan heads. But we play video games on the internet. Kind of my background alludes to it a little bit, but I was going to play. Currently got some free time due to quarantine. Paid quarantine, I might add. Feels good, man.
Hey,
there you go.
I'm trying to pick up an RPG, and we're going to play 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. That's what the background image is from. It's one of the mecha in there. So I'll probably start on it sometime tomorrow before I start my playthrough of Visage. That was the other game that kind of got the winning amount of votes for Spooktober, even horror month. So we'll be checking that out tomorrow night. Probably start around 6 p.m. Pacific time. Just keep it sometime around dark so we can get the ambience just right or something. But yeah, we try to have fun here. Video games, internet, WoW, GamingEmblem. Come check it out.
Cool.
Also,
And
thanks to Asian Noob Sama for the raid during the podcast today as well. Just put it out there, twitch.tv/_ Asian Noob Sama, drop the underscore. He plays Inbon. Battle up.
But yeah, by the way, speaking of playing extra games, and talking about old games, did you guys ever play Lost Viking?
Lost Viking.
Played one of them a long ass time ago.
Well, we should look into maybe doing Trine. If you guys are interested, it would be funny to see us try to work together, I think. And
yeah, Trine sounds like it'd be painful.
Yeah, I got Trine 2. I got some copies of that. So yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, as usual, everybody's links will be down in the description below. And also, again, anniversary episode. Thank you guys for doing the podcast with me. Also, thank you, Maniac, as well, one of the starting cast of the podcast. And thanks to all the viewers for watching. I count on you. But anyway, I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch. Got Twitter, Discord. Gonna be doing some Ghost of Tsushima New Game Plus, most likely tomorrow, on Lethal Plus, which apparently gets even harder than just the Lethal Plus. So we'll see what that what that has in store for us. Genshin Impact, gonna try to do a lot of the story and actually level up and get caught up. I pretty much just did like the first quest or first two quests on the just getting into the Geo area, and it's just like, yeah, I'm probably really far behind story wise. So hopefully that gets me a lot of levels. Over the weekend, if I also get everything done, we're gonna have an actual proper couch stream without any points being spent, and it's gonna literally just be my couch, pulling an all-nighter, doing the hard work. So I gotta finish recording some more GBO2 matches for that, but yeah, that'll be fun if that gets done. If not, I'm sorry, I messed up. Should have planned this a little earlier, but oh well. If anything, though, I am gonna try to do some horror games. I got Layers of Fear 2, I think was free on Epic, and some other random games. I got Amnesia, I think, as well, which I think is supposed to be kind of a scary game. So we'll try some stuff and hop around to some horror games and see if anything sticks. And then we might follow up after Halloween. But so yeah, I'll probably at least do a couple hours for Halloween. And then next week, usual stuff. Monday at 8 p.m. Baldur's Gate 3 Evil Campaign. Wednesday, the tabletop at 6 p.m. Eastern. And Thursday is the podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern. Might pick up some more Path of Exile. Too many games, guys, as always. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave us a comment down below of what you thought about this episode and what we talked about and stuff. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.
I am a true soldier.
Honestly, I was like,
Gosh,
what? I was like, what is that? I was like,
it's Zox Marquise.
Is that really? Oh my gosh. I was like, that's a Zoc, but but who? And then now I see it. I couldn't see it from this distance because I was like, he's doing a thing. I'm not gonna laugh. I'm gonna actually. I am definitely gonna alt tab and not actually look at this
Oh no.
because I will get distracted.
Vision mailed.